record this. This is so that people that are not here right now can access this in the replay. And then I'm sure you guys are going to want to take notes. So you'll have this in the replay so that you guys can take the notes and really use what we're using. What I'm going to share with you today is something that's going to change your life if you implement. One of the things that my mentor always told me is the speed of growth in your business is tied to the speed of implementation. If you can implement fast, you will grow fast, right? And so I put this together based on the last 4 years of doing this specific system, which I call content into clients. And so I'm going to share with you that today. So let me go ahead and share my screen and we can roll into it. All right. Will, can you see my screen? Can you see that?
Yes, I see it.
Content into clients. Great. This is my 5-step system on how to create 150 pieces of content in a day. And you go, Armando, are you crazy? What are you talking about? You can't create 150 pieces of content in a day. I'm telling you that you can. And I'm telling you that if you use this strategy, you will grow your business. So let's hop in because I love it so much. All right. So there is a lot of misinformation about social media out there. Look, it's not your fault. It's just, there is just a lot, right? And people are going to tell you, oh, you got to do this, you got to do that. And what we've learned in the last 4 years of doing this and working with all of the clients that we've worked with nationwide is that if you are consistent with your content, if it's engaging, if it's value build, if it's tips and tricks and listicles and all of this stuff, if you put that together on a daily basis across all platforms, you're going to grow your audience. And more importantly, you're going to grow your revenue. So I'm going to demystify social media for business. If you guys are here for, just social media and you want to get better at it, stick around. This is what we're going to do. If you want to use this to grow your business, this is a little bit more geared towards you because this is what we're going to use to how can you monetize? How can you create referral strategies? How can you increase engagement, your followers, all of that good stuff. So this presentation is for beginners. It's also for people that really want to add rocket fuel to their bottom line, top line revenue. Okay. So this is my goal for the next 60 minutes is to give you the keys to unlock exponential growth in your business using this system. Okay. So because I've used this and there's a lot of marketing companies out there, they'll tell you, hey, we can do this and we can do that. And then you ask them, hey, do you do this for your business? And they'll go, no, I don't really do that. And there's a disconnect. There's always a disconnect. It's like, well, if your marketing is so great, then you should be using your own services. And if you're not, then why are you not doing it? Either your product doesn't work as well, or you don't believe it in enough to use it on yourself. We use our services and we are our own client. So we've been able to grow to 7 figures. We're working on getting to 2 million in revenue this year and just scaling it up to 8 figures here within the next 3 to 5 years. That is the goal. I'm able to work on my passion projects. I get to travel. I have a team now that handles a lot of the things that I used to get overwhelmed with and the things that I just wasn't good at. And because my top line revenue is there, I'm able to hire the people that I need to free myself up to do the things that I want to do. And so when I created this system, I said, I want to help other people be able to scale their businesses to 7 figures so that they can free themselves up to find the people that they need to free themselves up to work on their passion projects or to travel or to do the things that you want to be doing, right? So that is why content into clients exists. Little backstory about me. I started this company in 2012. It was called Sketchy Characters. We based it on all of my years doing film work. We did a bunch of comedies. And I said I wanted to get into the commercial space. And so I started doing commercials and music videos and acting reels and everything, weddings, the whole nine. Rebranded to LeDuc Entertainment. And, I was stuck at like $25,000 a year in revenue. And then my highest revenue was in 2018, which was about 69,000 in revenue, but it was just stagnant. I could not get out of that, nor did I have enough predictability in my income to hire the people that I needed to let things go and to really grow my business, because there was no predictability. And so when you have these ebb and flows, and as business owners know, sometimes it's feast or famine. But what we've created is, why don't we create a system that's a little bit more predictable? And with predictability comes scalability, because then you can start hiring the people that you need. And so in 2019, I had a baby on the way. COVID hit. I was a one-man show. I was overwhelmed. I was just, the revenue wasn't there. I'm trying to figure it out, mounting debt. I was broke. I was, desperate. I was depressed. I had anxiety, and I was just in this mode of just throwing spaghetti at the wall. And if you guys have seen my podcast, that's why it's called that, because I was just throwing spaghetti at the wall and just nothing was sticking. And then over COVID, a friend of mine, really good friend of mine that I grew up with, Lewis Scott, who runs a super successful law firm in Georgia. I did a sort of my version of a podcast during COVID, and I invited him on the show because I was like, hey, I just want to know how you became so successful. And so he kind of shared all of this stuff with me, and I sort of told him what I was doing. And then 3 months later, he created a company called 8-Figure Firm. And 8-Figure Firm was this consulting company that was teaching other attorneys how to scale their businesses to 8 figures. And he said, Armando, can you fly to Georgia and shoot content for me? And at the time, I didn't know what that meant, because for businesses, they just wanted commercials at the time, one-offs, and then that was it. But he's like, no, I want you to come in monthly, and I want you to shoot content for me at volume, at scale. And I said, okay, I don't really understand, but yes, I'm in. And so I went through trial and error, trying to figure out how to really streamline a process where you're creating content at that level and being able to distribute it, edit it, film it month after month after month, so that it's consistent. And we started working together. And then I started seeing his clients go from, 6 figures to 8 figures. And I was like, wait, what's happening? And then Lewis was like, Armando, you have a 7-figure business. You just don't know how to get there. And I was like, all right, whatever, man. He was my friend. Familiarity breeds contempt. And he was like, no, I can mentor you. And look, I can give you this information for free, but if you pay for it, you'll value it and you'll actually implement. And I said, okay, what are you talking? And he said, 2,500 a month. I said, 2,500 a month? Are you kidding me? I'm broke. I am broke. But I had the foresight and I had the trust in him that I was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and put it on a credit card, and I'm going to pay him 2,500 a month. And the first month I worked with him, I had a $30,000 month. And it was mainly because he started unlocking things in here about my abundance mindset, about things that it was a threshold that I crossed. And once you guys cross this threshold, you can never go back. You'll start to see things from a different perspective, from a different lens. And when you see things from this lens, and you can see how abundant business is, and how many people that you can help, and if you can help enough people, you will get paid for it. And if we can streamline these processes and put them into place, then you can teach somebody how to do this stuff, and then you'll be able to scale your business, right? So there's who do I work with? I work with attorneys. We work with haunted history tours here in New Orleans. We've worked with restaurants. We work with crypto clients. We work with all kinds of different types of businesses, bands, artists. So this doesn't just work for, business in general. Like if you're a musician, if you're an actor, like this stuff works for you. And I'm going to show you how we get into it. Okay. So that's just a little bit about my story. And so this is what I want you guys to think about right now. I want you guys to think about, what is 10X and how can I get there? Because 10X is easier than 2X. And if you've read that book by Dan Sullivan, it will teach you the principle of what you should be spending your time doing. And that is living in your superpower, living in what it is that you do well. So here's what I want you to think about. I want you to think about who are those people that you can surround yourself with that can send you business, right? So go ahead and write that down. You can start making a list of those people and just some jumping off points. If you're a chiropractor, maybe personal injury attorneys can help you, right? For me, other SEO companies, web design companies, other marketing agencies that don't do what I do. Those are perfect referral partners for me. So start to think about that because I'm going to get back to this here in a second. So this is Lewis Scott, and this is the guy I was telling you about. This is my mentor, right? He took my business from from $69,000-$70,000 a year to $500,000 in a year's time. And then we hit 7 figures, and it was just like, okay, success leaves clues. What we're doing is working, right? And we're testing it, and we've done it, and then he's done it, and then my clients have done it. And so I'm starting to see that there is a through line that helps, that works, right? And so if you do this consistently, you will grow your business. And so he grew his business into a $45 million law firm, 8-figure firm, is now close to 8 figures in revenue, and he's just smashing it right now. So people ask me why I do this. I'm in my 40s, and I'm like, why do I do this? I do this for my family. I do this for my friends. I actually want to do this to help people realize that they can free themselves up to do the things that they want to do and live a passionate life. And so it's not hard to do. It takes discipline to stay consistent. And so let's roll into my secrets. Okay. So here's the secrets. Number 1, number 2, and number 3, right? How to develop the right content, how to shoot the content, and then how to distribute the content. And so that's what we're going to spend the time on today. If you develop correctly, if you shoot this right, and then you can distribute, and you do this every day for years, you will be the juggernaut of your industry. I promise you. I promise that it will work for you. Okay. So let's talk about secret number 1, how to develop the right content so that your audience flocks to your pages and wants to give you their money. So what we do is we think about, okay, what is it that we love to talk about besides what it is that we offer as our main offer? For instance, if you're a personal injury attorney, we understand that you have to create content that talks about personal injury stuff. So if you get hit in a lift, if you get bit by a dog, if what happens in an accident, all of the different Q&As that people have if they've been personally injured. But what else, right? And there's what we call content pillars, and you can talk about niches that actually draw people to your page, right? For instance, if you have will this work for realtors? 100,000%. 100,000%. And travel agents for sure. And I'll teach you guys how to do that. So for instance, realtors, you guys should be talking about obviously the Q&As, right? What's trending news, what's going on with interest rates, mortgage, all of that. But then if you guys are in that city, right? So if you're in New Orleans, I live in New Orleans. If you're a New Orleans realtor, I would create content about the different neighborhoods, or I would create content about the restaurants in the area, or I would create content about the things to do family-wise, or I would create content about where the city is headed and how it's growing, not just, hey, I want to sell you a home, right? Stay away from call to action stuff and be more focused on how am I giving value? How am I answering questions? How am I being entertaining? And so if you guys start thinking about your content in those ways, it's going to be a lot more engaging. For us, we love to be fun. We love to be funny. We love to give tips about social media. And then I like to talk about business. So if you come to my page, that's what you're going to get from my page. So if you want relationship advice or whatever, you're not going to get that from me, right? So you guys need to think about what it is that you love to talk about. Do you love to talk about crypto? Do you love to talk about gaming? Do you love to talk about relationships, mindset, leadership? There's so many different things to talk about. And I want you guys to think about your social media platforms as a network so that when people come visit you, they know what they're going to get. And the engagement starts to go sky high, right? And we'll talk about typecasting your brand here in a second, sticky headlines, listicles, history ofs, and the number one thing you guys need to be doing right now is starting a podcast. And you're going to say, Armando, nobody's going to listen to my podcast. I'm not going to be able to monetize. No, who's going to listen to my podcast? Nobody's going to listen to your podcast. Let's just start that. Number one, nobody's going to listen to it at first. That's okay. That's not why you're doing it. We're going to do a podcast because we want to network with strategic partners, referral partners, potential leads, past clients, current clients, right? Because we're going to build that goodwill. And you're going to learn a ton interviewing people on your show. So 1, you're getting to network. 2, you're creating content. 3, you're creating consistency. 4, you're building your brand. And here's the deal. My email open rate hovers around 60 to 75%. And when I tell people that, they're like, no way, no way. And I'm like, I'll show you. My email open rate is extremely high because of my podcast. So do not ignore creating a podcast for yourself because you're missing out on hundreds of thousands of dollars in revenue, opportunity, content. And we're going to talk about how to do that here in a second. So that's how you're going to develop your content. Here are the how to find your niche, right? So I was talking about the different things that people are already searching for. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to create it. You don't have to think about creating it. It's already here for you. So people are looking for how to make money online. They're looking for finance. They're looking for gaming. Pet videos are doing really well. Entertainment, food, technology, travel, fitness, personal development, relationships, lifestyles, real estate. Like these are things that people are already looking for, guys. So just pick one that you feel, camera I'm using is a Sony a7S III. But here's the thing that I feel like you guys should just be jumping into the stream. There's a river of content that people are already consuming. You just pick the content and then give your perspective on it. That's it. Like, so if there's news, comment on the news. Well, the news on the things that you're already talking about. If it's relationship news, talk about that. If it's politics, talk about that. If it's sports, talk about that. If it's your sports team, here's a good idea for realtors too. Talk about if you're in New Orleans, talk about the Saints, talk about the Pelicans, give your opinion on it. So those are some good ideas. And I'll share with you guys this PowerPoint presentation afterwards too. Here's another thing I want you guys to think about. Archetypes, right? Usually I pull up somebody onto the stage, but because this can get really crazy because I don't know who's in the room, I'm not going to open it up right now because I've learned my lesson. But archetypes, right? I want you to think about who you are and how people perceive you, and not necessarily don't get this information from you. What we did as an actor, and an exercise that we did that's kind of fun, is we went to the mall and I asked people, what do you think I do for a living? What kind of car do you think I drive? Where do you think I work? Do you think I have kids? Do you think I'm married? Do you think I'm single? Right? And so you get all of this information from other people off of off of a look, right? And so once you figure out what your type is, then I want you to lean into it. Lean into the stereotype. If you are, if you have this innocent look about you, then that content should reflect your type. So that way, when people watch you, it's like, oh, it's that person. Unfortunately, I know it's stereotyping, but unfortunately, that's how we operate. That's how human beings operate. They get information thrown at them, millions of bits of information daily. And so they have to put things in a box. They have to compartmentalize. And so they don't want to be confused. Confused people don't buy. So immediately they got to go, that's that person. That's that person. If there's and I tell this to my consulting clients all the time, they want to, I'm not going to name any names, but these these clients, they want to sell to attorneys and they want to sell to professionals, but their content looks, they have t-shirts on and they have ball caps, and there's a disconnect. How can you sell to attorneys when your content looks like you're selling skateboards, or selling t-shirts? So think about who you're trying to attract with the content. I put on a jacket, I put on a button down because I'm putting on the costume of a professional. I want to give you guys information. If I showed up in a t-shirt and a hat, my credibility will go down. It's just the way it is. So think about that when you guys are creating content, and then start thinking about your personal brand. Do you see that I have Leduc Entertainment here in the background? Because I want to stay branded so that when Leduc Entertainment shows up, you guys know, oh, it's the black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow, right? So think about your archetype. That way you can start building the brand and you can stay consistent. And you guys already follow people that you know what they do, right? Because you know that, oh, I follow that girl that does that, or I follow that guy that does that. Become that person that people want to follow. Make sense? All right, moving on. Here's never-ending content for you, and this is how we come up with our topics. I would go to Pinterest because Pinterest has amazing sticky headlines for you within your niche. So you can tell or use AI. Say, hey, I am a video production company and I'm looking for the top questions in my niche. And it go, here are the top questions. There's another really cool app that we just bought. It's called Answer the Public. It's Answer the Public. And that will give you the most up-to-date trending questions and what's trending right now as far as what people are looking for within your niche. And then you can grab that as Q&A and then answer those questions. So that's a nice little nugget for you. It's Answer the Public. So do that for content. Then let's talk about how we're going to distribute this content. If it's a cluster, you are not going to be consistent. It's just the way it goes. You have to be organized, because when you start creating content on the regular and you are creating 150 pieces of content in one day, you have to have a way to organize that content so that when you're ready to post it, it's just easy. So let me show you how we do it. We use Asana. Please use Monday, Planoly, whatever it is. Just a calendar software. I love Asana because you can pick the dates as to what it is that you're posting, right? So it should say the headline of the post, the captions of the post, the hashtags, all of that. And then you can put in the video. So you can download the video into that. And then when you're ready to post, it's just copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. So I highly recommend getting organized with some sort of calendar system so that you know exactly what it is that you need to do when you're posting it, so that it's just easy. Because if you run into roadblocks every single time, you're not going to stay consistent with it. And so you've got to get into flow. And in order to get into flow, you have to be organized, right? And look, the heavy lift is right at the very beginning. The name of the content topic suggestion is Answer the Public. Answer the Public. Yeah, please put in Q&A. But please get organized with your content. What we do is when we shoot all of our content, we put it into Google Drive, right? And then from there, I start putting in all of the different topics. Okay, January 1st, it's going to be this. This is the caption. This is the video. January 2nd, this is the topic. This is the captions. This is the video. Bop, 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 bop. And then just plan it out, month or two in advance. And then that way you're not having to do it like on the day of, because I'm telling you guys will get exhausted from doing this every day. If you're like, man, maybe you're not feeling good, or maybe you're overwhelmed, or maybe you got other things that you're doing, and you're like, man, I don't have the time for this. I don't really want to do this. And then you go, oh, social media doesn't work. It's not that social media didn't work. It's that you're not consistent enough to see the results. So please get organized from the very beginning. Does Asana house the Google Drive links? Yes, you can put the links to Google Drive into Asana, and it should just open up super easy. Here's a case study of one of my clients, Brett Thomas. He's got a web design company. And when I send you this slideshow, you'll be able to see the video. It's a third-party testimonial, which by the way, guys, you have to start getting video testimonials if you want to use that in your sales pitch. But I told him, I said, look, I'm going to triple your business in 6 months if you start doing this strategy. And he was like, whatever, man. And he pushed me off for like 8-9 months. And then he finally did it and tripled his business in 6 months. And so, here's a video of him saying it. So I don't know if you can hear it or not, but I'm going to send you the slideshow. It's in there for you. But like I said, this stuff works, guys, if you put it into practice. So how does somebody show the health of their business these days? I'm going to tell you this. Maybe people are going to your website. I doubt it, though. And people are preaching SEO and people are preaching pay-per-click, and that's cool. And I think that you should have an ad strategy 100%. But social media is going to let people know that your business is healthy. What does that mean, Armando? That means that if you're posting daily, that means that your business is working. That means that you are creating content. That means people can buy from you. That means you're helping in real time. And so people now go to social media for research. They're research obsessed. And here's the thing. People are only going to go to their preferred social media platforms. I spend my time on LinkedIn. I don't ever go to TikTok. Doesn't mean that I don't post on TikTok. I just don't go to TikTok, right? I spend my time on Instagram and I spend my time on LinkedIn. Not much on Facebook. However, I post on Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, all over, right? And so you have to make sure that you're posting across all platforms, and they're gonna be like, well, Armando, your social media experts are going to say, well, you have to post content on LinkedIn that's specific to LinkedIn, or you have to post content on Instagram that's, specific to Instagram. And I'm like, yeah, great. If you have the time, go ahead. You know what I mean? But I don't have the time, right? What I'm saying is create the post and then just put it across all platforms, because we don't know what's going to work until we start posting it. And then we can get analytics back to let us know, hey, that post works over that post. This is better than that. So make sure that you guys, somebody raise their hand. If you put the question in the Q&A, and I'll answer it. But they're going to, should the content be the same? Yes. Yes, I would say, look, because here's the thing. Consistency is more important than optimization, in my opinion, unless you have the time. If you have the time, then yes, for sure, optimize all day. But who has the time to optimize? So what I do is I go, look, I'm going to create this piece of content, and this piece of content is going to go across the board, because let me tell you this, you don't know what's going to hit. Right? We worked with a client of ours, Haunted History Tours, right? We posted a video for them on TikTok that we thought was going to crush on TikTok. It got maybe 1,000 views. And then we posted it on Facebook Reels, and that thing got like 80, 90,000 views. And then like another 10K views on Instagram, right? But if cumulative, you notice that now he's got over 100K views across all platforms. So don't get caught up in like optimization per platform. Just post across all platforms. Make it easy for yourself. So anyway, that's how you're gonna show the health of your business. You got to post every day. Value-built content. Absolutely, Sherry. All right, secret number 2, how to shoot content for social media, right? And that's fun. More importantly, it's bringing engagement and it's bringing in business. And here's the deal. You got to batch create the content. Armando, what does that mean? Batch create the content means that you pick one day a month, or you pick 2 days every 2 months, right? And you get ready for that day. Get your hair done. Put some makeup on. If you're a guy, put some makeup on, right? You can go to Mac and say, hey, I'm on film doing some work. Please match my color, and they'll match it up. And you just got to put foundation on, right? Ladies, you're going to want to look good. So hair, makeup, hire somebody if you can. If you don't want to, do it yourself, but make sure you look good, right? Your clothes should be on point. Get them pressed. Go to the dry cleaners. And here's what I would avoid. I would avoid pattern shirts, anything that's too busy, that distracts from your face and your message, right? So keep things super solid. Colors work really well. I like a layered look. And then pick that one day a month, because you know you're going to get ready for it. Get a good night's rest, Work out the day before, work out the morning of, get yourself some energy, drink some juices, be in a really good headspace when you're creating this content, right? And then you go in and you start creating a variety of different content. And I'm going to show you guys the different kind of content that we create. So remember, I told you guys podcasts, make podcasting part of that batch creation day. So what we do is I put a list of people that I want to invite to my podcast, all of my referral partners. Like I said, who are my referral partners? Web designers, other marketing companies that don't do what I do, SEO specialists. And so I invite them bulk. You have to over invite because people are going to drop out the day of. It just happens, right? So you want to make sure that you over invite. If you want 3 slots filled, invite 6 people. If you want 4, invite 8, right? That's a good rule of thumb. So start, give yourself at 8 o'clock, you start, right? You arrive at 8, 9 o'clock is your first podcast guest, then 10 o'clock podcast guest, then 11 o'clock podcast guest, take a little break. And then the rest of the afternoon, we'll go into the other variety of content, right? But here's the thing. Here's what you can do. Here's what you can do. Are y'all listening? Are y'all listening? All right. Here's the ASMR version. Take the podcast guest, ask them questions, right? You're giving them you're interviewing them, you're giving them the platform first for the first 20 minutes, then end your podcast, right? So your podcast should start, hey, this is Armando with Spaghetti on the Wall. Welcome to the show. Today we have Sherry Ortiz. She is a realtor from blah, 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 blah. And she's here to talk about this. Welcome to the show. Boom. You start the show, ask questions. They answer, right? Some back and forth banter. Then you end the show. Hey, Sherry, thank you so much for being on my show. Tell the listeners where they can find you, right? Boom. Hey, I'm Sherry. I am a realtor, yada, yada, yada. And you can find me at sherryortiz.com, whatever. Awesome. The show ends for that part. Then remember that Q&A sheet, the spreadsheet I told you about to create all of the content? Say, hey, Sherry, would you mind asking me about 5 or 6 questions from this list so that I can use this content on my social media? And they're going to go, of course. You just spent 20 minutes with them, giving them an opportunity. They're going to ask you these questions. And so you give that to them and they start asking you questions. Now it looks like you're being interviewed on a podcast, right? From your first podcast guest to your second podcast guest to your third podcast guest. And guess what? Something about wearing headphones and having a microphone in front of you makes people think that you're the authority. And so you just start answering those questions. And now you have all of this content in podcast form with 2 people. And now it looks like you're being interviewed. Super easy trick, super easy trick. So that would be the podcast stuff that I would recommend you guys do. Here's some other content ideas that I recommend you include in your offer, in your batch creation day. So number 1 should be offer videos, and offer videos are your call to action. So remember, I told you when you're posting, how long should your podcast be? I would say at first, just 15, 20 minutes. It doesn't need to be long, just 15, 20 minutes, right? And then spend the rest of the time having them answer questions for you, and then keep in contact with those people because those are people that are going to refer you guys business. So offer videos, right? Think about what kind of offer that you're talking about. So we have our content into clients offer. We have a podcast offer. We have a podcast PR offer. So every month we put out a different offer video. And here's the thing. Here's another thing. Are you guys listening? Okay. Here's another thing. When you put out this ad as organic social, you will then see whether or not this ad is hitting because people will look at it. If they're not looking at it, that means that the ad is it's probably not a good ad. So I wouldn't put money towards that. So you're getting a test right there and then as to whether or not that video is going to do well. And here's the thing. If a video does really good, boost it. Boost that video because you already know. And then tie it to a landing page and an offer, right? Guys, this strategy with the webinars that I'm doing these webinars weekly. So this is my offer. I'm going to start putting, and here's the thing. I didn't even put any ad spend on this right now. right? I got 100 something people in, but that's because I'm also building my social media. And so now I'm going to be going, okay, I've worked this, I've worked this, I've worked this. These are working. So now when I put money towards ad spend, I know that it's money well spent because the ads are going to work because I already have this data that proves that it works. So when you guys are putting offer videos together, make sure you put it out organically first, and then you guys can put money towards it if it's doing well. If it's not doing well, then come back and go, what do I need to do, right? So that's the offer video, special promotions, right? Holiday videos do really well too. So think about that. Put together a Happy New Year video. We do a happy birthday video that goes out on, on our CRM for everybody that has a birthday. And it talks about, like, I say, hey, happy birthday. Here's something that's different. Let me tell you the history behind the happy birthday and the song and everything like that. And so I give them a little history lesson, and it's a nice little video that goes out that increases engagement, knows that we're staying top of mind, and it's fun, right? So holiday videos, obviously FAQ videos, parody videos, take some, which CRM we use, Keep, KEAP. I also use HubSpot because I love the sales aspect of HubSpot, but you can do everything on Keep. Go High Level is another good one too. But yeah, make sure that you guys are using a CRM to keep track of follow-ups. Because look, it doesn't matter if 100,000 people come into your door like monthly. If you're not following up with them, you're missing out on money, because the follow-up is where the money's made, right? It's not in the cold outreach. So make sure that you guys are following up properly and follow up with videos, right? Trending reels, podcast setup, slice of life documentaries, top 10 videos. Let me talk about top 10 videos because you guys have to start doing this. Who do we want to work with? I'd like to work with attorneys. So when I put out content, I go, hey, here are my top attorneys here are my top personal injury attorneys in Miami. Here are my top personal injury attorneys in Atlanta. Here are my top personal injury attorneys in New York. And guess what? We tag those law firms, and all of a sudden they're like, who is this? What is this? Why are they tagging us? They start doing their research. They see that we do this for attorneys. Holy shit. Oh, yeah, cool. And then we are opening up the conversation. Top 10 videos could be your top 10 places to get a burger, top 10 places to dive bars. Gambit is our alternative newspaper here. And every year they have the best of New Orleans. I know in every city they have this. So that's another way you guys can get the content or ideas for jumping off points, because they're always like, where's the best place to get a burger, best place to get a taco, best restaurant, blah, 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 blah. Put that together. And here is this is Nasha Dickerson's top 5 places to get a burger in New Orleans. Here is my top 5 places, yada, yada, yada. I'm a local tour guide. Should I like good what feature to do, live promos? Yes. Hell yes. Sherry, if I was you, what I would be doing on a weekly basis is going, hey guys, this is what's up in New Orleans or wherever. These are the places that I would hit up this weekend. Catch this band, catch this show, catch this, catch that. And now you're the person that they go to for the cool shit to do. So, and then you can establish that channel for yourself that, oh, it's that girl that gives us fire recommendations, right? And you're across all platforms. Boom. All of a sudden engagement goes up and everybody's like, yo, you should really follow Sherry. She's fucking awesome. So that's a really good idea for you. Obviously, video testimonials, music videos are fun or weird history. We did this for a family law attorney, and we do this for all of our clients. But one that did really well, a family law attorney in New York, talked about a guy who gave his wife his kidney. She cheated on him. He wanted to get a divorce, but in the divorce, he wanted his kidney back. Obviously, they didn't give him the kidney back. However, it was a really fun story, and it got some good engagement. So think about those stories or history ofs within your niche that you can put out that increases engagement, and stories are always more sellable. So there's some video content ideas for you. This is another case study of Rick Jordan, who is an MSP, managed service provider, cybersecurity guy. We did videos for him. He goes hard on podcasting. and had some really nice things to say about us. I'll skip that for now so that you guys can watch it on your end. And look, this is what we learned, right? Over the last 4 years of doing this, we learned that if you create a variety, the engagement stays up, right? You also want a combination of highly produced videos and then phone footage, right? This thing these days looks incredible. You like 4K, turn it up and just use that. Like don't get caught up in it has to be perfect, because it doesn't. Just start creating content. All right. Content must either build value, educate, or entertain. And then also, look, it has to be value build content. Like, don't go in there asking for sales, because that's the problem. Most businesses, they're all like, I don't want to post on social media because it doesn't work. Because when I post, it's always like, hey, I buy this from me, buy this from me, buy this from me. I'm like, dude, I don't want to buy from you, right? Like, you're annoying me. It sounds desperate. But if you're building value, you're staying top of mind, you're entertaining, people will be like, hey, I like that person. And then when you do put out a call to action post, they'll buy, right? The people that want to will. All right. Secret number 3, how to engage on social media. Y'all, social media is social. It's social, and people forget about this. They're all like, I'm just going to post. I'm just going to post. I'm just going to post. Engage. Like if you want to work with people, like their pages. If you want a referral partner, like their pages, like their posts, comment on their posts, like their stories, save their stories, share their posts, right? Like, become a fan of theirs, and they're like, holy crap, man, this guy's so supportive. Then when you want to open up a conversation, it's going to be a lot easier. And here's another gem for you. Here's another gem. You ready? If you guys are just starting out in business, right? What I would do is I would use your podcast as a way to get information from people that you respect, mentors, or potential referral partners, maybe even people that are with your competition. And I don't believe in competition. I believe that it's collaborators. People that do what I do are collaborators. They're not my competition. So I have them on my show. Other filmmakers, right? Like other marketing companies that do what I do. I don't necessarily view them as competition. I view them as collaborators. So if you're just starting out, invite them to your podcast. Get information from them. Get educated. Give them a platform to speak, right? And then you can have content for them. And it's an easy way to engage with someone, right? If you want ROI quick, start a podcast and invite those people. And here's the deal. If I'm an actor, guess who I'm inviting to my podcast? Casting directors, agents, other actors, right? Stunt people. If I'm in a band and I want more gigs, guess who I'm inviting to my podcast? Club owners, band agents, people like that all day. If I want to start, and I was in a wedding band, I owned a wedding band that I just sold last year called Dat Band, grew that business crazy. But like, guess who we started inviting to the podcast? Wedding venues, wedding coordinators, right? And so we started creating those relationships, and guess who they referred those business to? Dat Band. Like, all day. Or if you're an original band that wants to get out there, invite club owners, invite people that you might be able to create a relationship that could fund your band and fund your creative endeavors. Because there's people out there that have money that want to help and want to invest in some things. If you create relationships with them, you could possibly get funding. Guess what? I'm writing a show right now. It's a comedy called Life on Bourbon, right? It's a story about Bourbon Street and these musicians that work there. It's a little backstory about my life. However, I'm trying to get, I'm going to get $500,000 to produce this project. But guess who's going to invest in this project? It's going to be people that I want that are already invested in Bourbon Street, right? So club owners that have businesses on Bourbon, restaurants that have business on Bourbon, businesses that are involved in the French market and the French Quarter, right? So now when we produce this show, it's a collaborative effort. And all because I'm creating those relationships. Does that make sense? So use social media for social media engagement. Okay. Here's some engagement strategy for you. Follow your clients, follow other businesses, follow referral partners, post tips and tricks and funny clips and memes, follow pages your competition follows, look into Facebook groups, like 50 posts. I mean, it's endless, the opportunities that you have here, right? Here's another case study that I saw. Audrey Chisholm, she's a nonprofit attorney in Orlando. She grew her business from 700K to 2.4 million in 6 months. It was insane to see her grow. And now she's like, top Inc. top 5,000 fastest growing companies in the United States. I mean, she's just smashing it. So success leaves clues, guys. Let's discuss imposter syndrome, because this is what's going to hold you. This is what's going to hold 80% of the people that are listening to this right now. 80% of you guys are not going to start because of this, because you guys don't believe that your opinion matters, that you have a perspective, that anybody's going to listen to me, that you're going to get judged when you post the content. You're going to stop yourself because of other people. And I want you to, this was told to me in a conference for public speakers that I was a part of. And I listened to this public speaker talk, and he said, please don't rob the world of your message because of your own hangups. Should we get our LLC? Yes, you should be a business, 100%. And I'll tell you why you should become an LLC is because it's going to legitimize your business. Like, it's going to, mindset wise for you, it's going to go, oh, I have a business, and it'll change things for you. So 100% get your LLC. But as far as the message, don't rob the world of your message because of your own hangups, right? Your opinion matters. Your perspective could help someone. Me and you can have the same exact talk, but somebody's going to resonate with me. And then there's people that are not going to resonate with me at all. And then there's going to be people that resonate with you, and then they're not going to be in my tribe. So it's abundant. There's so many people out there that want to buy from you. Like, literally, there is an endless pool of people that want to buy from you. I promise you right now, there are. So don't stop and hinder yourself from creating content because of your own hangups. So focus on how you can help and take it away from you, and it'll be a lot easier to create content, I promise. Okay? So I know that this works, right? I know it does. I build my life around it. I've created this webinar. I'm banking on this because I know that it works, right? If you stay consistent, it'll work. If you tweak your messages monthly because of the data and views and engagement, you'll know, okay, this stuff works, right? If you follow your followers and you analyze the data, you can grow your business. Okay? So I know you guys are excited, right? I know it, because this stuff excites me. I talk about it every day, all day, because when you see something that works so well, you're like, oh, man, how can I tell more and more and more and more and more people, right? So I know it also is a little overwhelming. So I'm going to help you guys in that department. Okay. I'm not going to spend 10 minutes talking about this offer because it's not, I don't need to spend 10 minutes talking about it. I'm going to spend about 5. So this is what you're going to get with the fastest growth marketing system in the world, called Content into Clients, right? It's going to help you grow your business and the right tools to help save you time. Okay. And I'm going to leave you guys with a story from Rockefeller and why this works so well. A guy went up to Rockefeller and said, hey, I want to borrow $100,000. And Rockefeller said, no, I'm not going to let you borrow money. Right? Is all of this manageable by one person? If you have the time, yes. If you don't have the time, no. But we can discuss that. If you send me an email, I can answer your questions. But Rockefeller said, I'm not going to let you borrow $100,000. What I am going to do is I'm going to walk up and down the stock exchange with my arm around you. And by the end of it, everybody's going to want to invest in your company, right? So moral of the story is, if you surround yourself with the right people, you will exponentially grow your business, which is why I'm telling you, imploring you to start your own podcast so that you can align yourself with the right people, because one person can change your whole business. One person has netted us $500,000 in revenue. One person, because they became a referral source for us. So if you want to work 10X, or do you want to work 2X? 10X is going to be easier than 2X if you're focused on the right things. So stop focusing on things that are going to make you grow 2X, and start focusing on the things that are going to make you 10X, which is why I'm doing this today. So you do not need 1 million followers to make $1 million. You really don't. You just need the right people following you. Okay. If you want to work with us, we have 3 ways you can work with us. We have a done for you system, which we can talk about. And this is my team coming out and shooting for you, editing, distributing, like the whole 9. It's a done for you system. You don't have to lift a finger except show up. And if you want that, we can talk about that. If you want to work with us on a creative consulting basis where we do this with you, you're looking at right around $2,500 a month. And this is us like giving you everything that you need in order to grow your business, right? We have a group coaching call that we do weekly, and that's right around $200. And then we have our online course content called Content into Clients. It is a more granular version of this webinar on like exactly what to do. And it's $499. But look, if you guys fail to plan, you're going to plan to fail. I don't want you guys to just start this without a plan, because once again, you're going to go, Armando, this doesn't work. Social media doesn't work. It does work. It does work. I promise you it works if you're doing it correctly and you're doing it long enough. Okay. So this is another case study for you. Haunted History Tours. Follow them, by the way. It's fire content. It's really, really good. And if you guys are in New Orleans, you guys should definitely take a tour with Haunted History Tours. And these are some of the clients that we work with. Like I said, bands, an oil company, personal injury attorneys, cybersecurity, MSPs, like everything. We can help you. And look, if you guys are not ready to scale, we can talk about that too, right? Like we can help you on the operational end of things too. So bonus secret, webinars. And if you guys really, hit me up about how to create these webinars, because I can help. I can tell you that 60% of the people that come to my webinars buy. 60% that come here buy my offer that I'm about to show you, right? And so I can show you guys how to create a webinar that works. So think about the investment and not the cost. If I told you that if you spent $500,000 and you spent the $500,000, but at the end, you're going to have $10 million guaranteed, you'd be like, yeah, of course I'm going to spend that money. So you have to start thinking about things in terms of investment and not cost. So today, or for the next 2 days, I should say, we have a Content into Clients webinar offer. We have the course that's usually $499, and we have a group coaching call that's $200. It would be $699. Today, $79, because I want you guys to get started and start working it. Because the minute you start doing this, the faster you guys will start seeing the results, right? And if you stay consistent long enough, you'll grow your business, and then you can go, hey, Armando, I want to start doing this. And you'll go, great. So I'm going to put the offer right here for you. And I'm also going to send it in an email, because guess what? It's in the follow-ups. The sales are in the follow-ups. So I'm going to put the link to the purchase page right here, and you guys can take advantage of the offer right here, right now. Boom. Hosts and panelists, everyone. Here you go. There you go. So if you click on that link, it'll take you to the Content into Clients, and open up the chat. You'll see it. It's the Content into Clients online page. And it's usually $499, but today $79. And then I'll invite you guys to our group coaching calls that happen weekly if you guys want to take advantage of that. So with that being said, I'm going to stop the share and I'm going to open it up for Q&A. So Q&A away. Let's see. How often is the group coaching call? It's every week. So you'll meet weekly with other clients that I work with, and we get granular for an hour. Can everybody see the course? Let me know in the chat if you guys can see. I'll put it to everyone. How long have you been using Teachable? I've been using Teachable for like 7 years. I have another two courses out there. One on breaking into the acting business, and then one on my acting technique that I've learned, sort of over the years and what I've used in terms of improv, audition by Michael Shirtleff and all of that good stuff. So it's how I approach my scripts. My biggest obstacle is taking the time away from my substantive work to create content. Can you suggest how much time per day it would take to create effective content? Um, one day a month. 1 day a month it should take to batch create all of the content, right? So you want to make sure that you take that 1 day and you can create 150 pieces of content. If you don't have the time, I would highly recommend hiring someone like us to come and help you do it. But it's all about budget, really. I will say we're not cheap to do the done for you system, but we are effective, and it's truly a white glove service. What if I feel as though I don't have a specific niche? Should lean into whichever I feel is strongest. Um, Yeah, I look, if you're at the very beginning and you haven't created content yet, then it doesn't matter, right? Like then just try some things out. What I would recommend is, what do you feel passionate about? What do you spend your time thinking about? What do you spend your time doing? Do you like reading books? Do you like travel? Do you like um psychology? Do you like crypto? Do you like finance? Do you like mindset? Like, just kind of do some digging as to what it is that you like and what you feel passionate about. And then your content can be not necessarily, it doesn't necessarily have to be value build at the very beginning, right? What I think you could do is talk about your struggles, talk about what it is that you're doing. And the content could be sort of this documentary style about, hey guys, I'm starting this project, right? And the project is I want to start posting every day. Don't necessarily know what to post, but I'm starting here. Here are my struggles. Here are the things that, here are the things that I'm sort of learning in the process. Comment below. Let me know what y'all struggles are, and then boom, all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I like that. First, great job and clear. Will there be an additional webinar on different topics? Yes, I am actually. It's so funny. Another reason why you guys should be doing podcasts, because then you start getting invited to other people's podcasts. And so there is a conference that happens every year in San Diego called Social Media Marketing World. Highly recommend. And I've been wanting to speak at this conference, and somebody reached out to me and was like, "Hey, I want you to come on to my podcast, the Social Media Marketing World podcast," right? And so I was like, "Okay, cool. What do you want to talk about?" And they were like, "Well, what kind of things that you do and stuff." And I said, what we've been doing lately is this sort of customer journey video strategy, where we're taking the customer journey and at every single point, at every single touch point that we're communicating with a client, we're putting a video in. To give you an example, at the very when you start working with, before you work with us, right, you'll get a matrix box, right? It's a little black box, and inside there's a red pill and a blue pill, and there's a landing code, QR code. And so they click on it, and it's a video of me on a landing page as Morpheus, and I can share it with you guys if you want. And it's me going, "Hello, I know you know that your marketing isn't working and yada, yada, yada. So you have two choices to make. You can take the blue pill and go back to work, or you can take the red pill and you can see how deep the rabbit hole goes," right? And so I have this video that goes out in the marketing end of things. That's a direct mail piece. That's really a standout piece. And that has really increased conversions for us. So we put that out. Then when people And this is for the done for you service. This is like the premium service that we offer. When they become a client, we send them a Leduc welcome to Leduc Entertainment video. That's us dancing around to music, and we're like, "Hey, welcome." Then we send them another video of like a Mission Impossible, where it's like a dun 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 dun. Your mission, if you choose to accept it, is to set up a discovery call with our team. Yada yada yada. And so every single point, like when we send them the scripts for their approval, when we're ready to shoot, when what a great shoot it was. Like every single time we communicate with a client, they have a video, and it's a fun video. And I'm telling you, we used to have to like claw to get our clients to pay us. And now, because we're so communicative in such a fun way, that every time they hear from us and we send them the invoice, paid, 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 we never have to wait on payment. Right. And we also feel good because we're showing them that there's work happening, not just on the shoot day, but like all of the pre-planning that it takes and all of the other things that we're doing to promote them. And so that's a talk that I'm developing right now, that I'm going to put a PowerPoint together and all of that stuff. So, but yeah, customer journey. So that's the answer to that question. Yeah, it's really fun. Thank you. Thank you. Any other questions? So yeah, does everybody see? Will, can you let me know if everybody's seeing that link to the offer?
I'm not sure because they're not panelists. I'm not sure if they can view it or not.
Okay. Can you
Um,
guys in the Q&A or in
yeah,
the
let
chat
us
let
know
me
in
know?
the Q&A if you can see the link to the offer for the course and the group chat.
Yeah. Yes, it's there and clickable. Thank you, Sherry. How do you
Yes.
create content in batches? Um, just so when I say batch create content, it just means that I am shooting all of the content in one day. So your podcast, your Q&A, your top 10 list, your history ofs, all of that stuff, that happens all in one day. That's what I mean by creating content in batches. And then it lives in Google Drive. And then you can just, like I said, in Asana, just take the link. And look, guys, this is just, it's an hour. I wish I could go deeper, and I do in my online course. So if you guys click on the online course, I'm telling you, I go granular with all of this stuff, and I'm giving it to you guys, and so you guys can sort of do it yourselves. It's just our system, like really spelled out and how to do it, so take the course. It's super comprehensive, and start putting it into action for sure. And like I said, if you guys want to work with us on a consulting basis, and just me like really do a deep dive into your business, let me know. We can do that too. I can like really just sit and go, okay, this, you should probably do this, and let's, because I can give you guys all ideas all day. That is my superpower. Anything else? Chat is disabled. Can view link. Okay. Is the chat disabled?
Yeah, we disabled the chat because of our issues on the last call.
Ah, yes.
Kind of got hijacked. I don't know if you want to share that story real quick before we end, but that's
Yeah.
kind of have it locked down a little bit.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Let me just go ahead and mention that here. That's a really good a really good lesson for you guys. When you guys are doing these webinars and we do it on Zoom, make it a webinar and then disable chats. Because what we did was we made it a meeting, the last meeting, and like it got hijacked by some people, and they were just like, blah, 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 blah. And I was trying to mute them and I couldn't. And it was just, oh boy, it was what a disaster. What a disaster. So this one is this one's much more fun. Thank you, Will, for helping me manage this, because that was crazy.
My pleasure. Happy to do
Oh.
it.
All right, guys. You guys can obviously hit me up. I'm gonna put info at LeducEntertainment.com. hit me up there. You guys can send me messages if you guys have any other questions. And like I said, look for the emails that are going to be coming out right like tomorrow. It'll have a replay link. It'll have the PowerPoint presentation. So yeah, like I said, the money's made in the follow-up. So I appreciate everyone. I'm going to go ahead and stop